Welcome everyone to more live T2 Linux distribution development. And so obviously in general we want to make our Linux distribution as secure as possible. And I thought, why not mix it with some clickbait? Obviously, that's what we're here for. But on a more serious note, I'm a little bit disappointed that news sites are not the most motivated to report about our Linux distribution. And I understand like CNET and stuff, or Slashdot, although I tried, but some other regular ones, even German local ones like Nextdoor, for which I even wrote articles, a little bit disappointing. So I thought, PR is everything, right? And that's the crazy thing, you can work on 20 years on a hopefully soon Guinness World Record winning Linux distribution, supporting the most Linux CPU architectures, and nearly everything just works here. And still nobody cares, right? And in these news sites I find it particularly sad and disappointing because it costs them nothing, right? And that's also sort of big companies, each small update, they make fuss and open source projects who put so much of their time making the world a better place, and it's like the least they could do is give them a little bit. I'm not even asking about each month a news out, once a year. It's like, hey, there's a new version. Is it too much to ask? So to improve that, what's better, learn that from YouTube, obviously, than some clickbait, right? Excuse me, I still have not fully recovered from this bloody virus. So we in general want to make T2, of course, as secure as possible. And Notech, one of our new contributing developers, has already also data at has already contributed some improvements here, some code snippets to build. Like basically, what I want to do is for the next release, which actually might come sooner than later. This and the next release for clickbait obviously will not be as big as the last 1 year and like 6 months scheduled, 6 months delayed, 1 year between. So probably already next quarter, because it's a low-hanging fruit for some clickbait, obviously, and making the Linux distribution you all play along at home with and love and use at home more secure. Meaning all the mitigations possible, so position-independent code, and let's see what else we had there. So let's build that, and then we also have like basically that's epic thread rip that here on the world record hottest day in Germany. Nothing better than warming your office with some epic thread ripping CPU cycles. And there will be some fixes needed. Notech said it mostly builds. He also introduced new tech there for no pi and what exactly was it even? So basically so this is more than clickbait. Obviously all this clickbait here makes our Linux distribution better. Position independent executables, where even is it? No. Do we even, also it helps to look into the right file. So what do we have here? Pi and no, what else did we had? Actually need to, stack, right, stack protector probably. And what we probably also should do, so there are multiple things to do, with also my favorite text to dos that I occasionally delete. So check and enable all code hardening options. It could also check those code hardening options for all architectures, because it surely breaks some stuff like Spark or I don't know. We certainly can't enable it for super old stuff like AVR32 or Itanium and stuff. Dr. Schubert chimes in here. Today it should be less. Yesterday it was 38 and in the office it was 31. And given that our 10-year-old monoblock inefficient shit aircon broke, which I obviously not spent money on replacing, I have 14 centimeter Noctua fan running there. No kidding. Which I actually need to turn a little bit, it actually belongs to me, precious Noctua. nothing like a proper YouTube channel, like who needs an Office fan when they can have a Nock 2 or Chroma Max Black, whatever, something. On a LED power supply with 8 volts, I think. No fancy pulse width modulated. So yeah, let's enable those. So that would be, so do we have any other major, actually we have some, what did I do? Actually this one probably needs to be reverted. This is, yeah, this is demask, this didn't build. And then config X. So let's test build that, let's see what breaks. I've not done that in a long time. And so generic minimal desktop, and this doesn't really matter. And LTO cross smarter, and then we want, where do we even have that? We probably also might want to move that somewhere. Yeah, stack smashing protect, although we need to check, we should check that that even is. We probably want to move it somewhere more like here. And that. And actually I wonder if this one option even has an effect. The stack smashing protector. So we actually at Rock Linux we were one of the first Linux distributions to adopt that like 20 years ago, and this was an IBM I think out. Yeah, also this option name is stupid. I have the feeling this is a no operation. Actually, so there is actually something. Also, we probably can continue to clean up some stuff, although we need to be careful not to break stuff like other Linux distributions. Like here, this here default GCC. Okay, actually that does work. So I would say, okay, this is, yeah, so this we probably can remove that. This is from when we had multiple, like 15 years ago, that even had us some bit rot. Once upon a time, some people had a crazy idea. I'm not even sure if it was me, maybe not. I think 15 years ago I already said, we don't have the manpower and resources, and it makes no sense to maintain old versions of GCC. However, we might, actually we probably, actually let's put this in a to-do. So, yeah, so actually I would say this should not depend on default CC actually. Does Sam, because you also want that with Clang. Does Clang have some kind of info page? Stack protector F stack protector all strong. Okay, so we probably want, okay, they have multiple here even, and on a first glance it looks a little bit incompatibly named with GCC, which would suck a little bit. Stack protector combine F stack protector all strong. Actually this is similar. Yeah, so we probably, yeah, so this stuff is outdated. Honestly, I think we can clean this up like that. Maybe even clean up this diagnostic here. And also, I just wanted to write a famous to-do note, right? And by the way, the last, making a little bit fun, I personally not the greatest fan of this codename stuff, but given the current state of war in the world, the last one was intentionally a resistance, right? We had a couple of polls. The next one will be something like top secret or stuff, because obviously T2 Linux too good to write news articles about. So if you have a better codename, leave in the comments below. Otherwise, something like top secret. Maybe we target yeah, we probably target 2210 or something. I could already add this to the title. I wanted to, you see, if I don't write it down immediately, then what was it? All right, more fine-grained stack, protector options. And what else do we need there? I wonder if so some stuff will break. I know that already. It broke 15 years ago. It probably will break now. Okay, this has already, for example, stuff like grub and stuff usually needs to be built without this stuff. We would need to review this also on the bootloader. It's maybe not the very most important, but anyway, where's even my? No, I fat fingered that here somewhere. Oh, I hate when. Okay, nothing like starting that again. I'm not even sure which terminal I was using for the many. So then we can test build this, and also there's a problem when I speak more. This is, by the way, sorry for that. Yeah, so this might vary on package, and we probably need more flags for that to fine-grainedly disable, like if you configure with strong and stuff. Oh, and also, did I put this? So basically also more useful, I noticed already, the more outstanding non-standard stuff we do, the more people share, like, and subscribe to videos, or GitHub sponsor or Patreon stuff. So probably also soon some file system benchmarks for also a little bit older Unix hardware, like things SCSI rotating hard drives. Is it beneficial to use XFS, JFS, Riser, BFS on your what is fastest on some gigahertz rotating SCSI driver stuff on a Spark or PowerPC, and also like benchmarking. So what I also should do is actually benchmark the performance impact of those compiler code protection measures here. Certainly some people have sometimes done that, but something that's not done that regularly. So, benchmark, GCC code protection stuff. We can also theoretically harden that with initialization stuff. The question is just, I mean, as I usually say, 90% of the code is not run, and so the question is, how much is the performance impact for high performance code passes? So the 10% is actually do run. And theoretically, we could actually combine it. I'm not sure. I guess one probably could fine-grained enable the stack protector. So we have a profile database. So I wonder if, like for high performance code passes, disabling it has a positive impact. We could actually benchmark all of that, which would help if you share, like, and subscribe to provide me financial means to actually finance all the time invested into this. So let's see. Yeah, we actually, you know what, let's, okay, so package incompatible. So, yeah, that's what I mean. To change, to fine-tune these messages, I want, basically, you have guessed it right, to make T2 one of the best Linux distributions. And when the messages already suck, then I personally would always not be the most interested anymore. So, stack, oops. Let's polish everything, because otherwise new sites don't care, and obviously eventually want to get some news. That was the just dash strong right man page. Oops, cannot or help of. Oh. Did I even help a man page? Stack protector, probably just dash strong. All. What is the difference between strong and all? Let's see. All like except that all functions. Okay, what is emits extra code to check buffer overflow? Yeah, we got that 15 years ago, such as text smashing attacks. This is done by adding variable functions, vulnerable options. This includes functions that call log functions. Only variables that are actually allocated on the stack are considered optimized. All okay. So, and what is strong like, but includes additional functions to be protected. Those that have. Okay, so I guess the order is stack protector for only some functions, stack protector strong for additional functions, and stack protector all for even more functions, I guess. Actually allocated and stack are considered. Okay, let's make that strong. Wait a second, what was stack check? Generate code to verify that you do not go beyond boundary of the stack. You should specify 99 with multiple threads. There's also initial, what was it? There was also some, what was this new? Yeah, we will find this in a second. So then let's make that strong. I guess I copied that all here. And also this messages, there should be some system of we should, it's like, yeah, it's a little bit too much. Maybe we should actually collect those and list them in one line, that it's not too many lines, like stack protector, comma, PIE disabled for this package, but that is for another day. Then of course I have even more changes. Why is this so strange? Did I again fat finger? What happened there? Why don't we have disks there? Oh wait, I usually had, darn, it saved it, huh? I think this, there we have that, maybe. I'm not a fan of this accidentally reconfiguration stuff. Oh, come on. Anyway, so we also have some more. Where did this? What? Did this? Maybe this was a partially built thing. We probably wanna wipe that now that I have this in a more reproducible change route. So then we have tons of changes, because obviously a tiny little bit of changes. Is Vodafone acting up here? Actually, yes. Maybe I shouldn't live stream until I had this COVID 2 weeks ago. It's disgusting that, I mean, it's 95% away, but the last 5% somehow don't wanna, I mean, I'm freaking negative, but it's not helping that my throat is not really getting the most better anyway. What you're saying isn't stack protector. Yeah, they're just substituting your own stuff. Yeah, 1000 actually, it's freaking many drop frames. And the best of all, this Vodafone Felix Doxis company is constantly closing, like weekly closing our error report ticket, support ticket things there. Totally helpful. So then commits. Should we first architecture, or what else do we have here? GDB, right? We theoretically have, what was that even? All right, this probably was using the, what was it even? This was Zilo Avis. Did I boot grub on the Ultra 5? Did I test this here sufficiently? I hope that works. But anyway, it is trunk, so we could break that for some days. Or because we do for most of the architecture. So I wonder how this slipped through. Anyway, the stuff that you notice when you test, especially in low memory machines. Alright, theoretically that obviously, if you want a precious Spark station. It sounds like I might get some more Spark stations sometime soon. Someone has some stock of old stuff that they are considering to give us some of their dusty stuff. Fixed Linux. Oh, it's disgusting. It's sorry. I wish it wouldn't be like that. 2 years I didn't get the shit. I tried so hard, so let this be a warning for you. So this is partially some random stuff that wasn't the most successful. I guess let's first do the more useful stuff here. Let's first generate the copyright tags and then gradually, so oops, it's our building. Build is building. Also, it's still bootstrapping. It's like, yeah, the load probably needs some better single. Actually, the crazy thing is, Apple stuff. I mean, I could try. The sad thing is Apple stuff. Because the single-threaded performance could potentially be a little higher, especially the M2. I only have M1 Max, of course. Maybe it was a mistake to buy the M1 Max. I probably didn't really need that. Maybe I should have gotten more entry-level machine and upgrade already or something, because the M2 is obviously a little bit better. But that's a problem with IT, right? Next year is always better hardware. I'm not really motivated to give Apple that much money, obviously, but single-threaded, the multi-thread performance of this Ryzen is still better, although obviously it probably consumes also over twice the power. Also, so multi-threaded is also, yeah, anyway, it's difficult. I wonder if we should spell out LTO then, if we spell out stack protector. Oh. As you see, somehow it's not really getting the most better. Anyway, all we do to keep our company and YouTube channel running. So, stuff here. Right, PowerPC is always some stuff to do. What is this S390X? Oh, this was just kind of a typo. Let's just take the phone call back in a... why is this system based on... It is not... this is a fully original Linux, one of the most original Linux distributions since 1998. Just take a phone. So, yeah, that's not the most important. We have here some more important. Actually, what was the boot stuff here? Alright, this is just... I'm not even sure if we really need that. It booted in QEMU fine. Maybe we should read the man page before we commit this. Because it's a random guess and it's now usually larger anyway. What was the RAM disk? Maybe Silo. What was the other 5? This specifies the size of the optional RAM disk. A value of 0 indicates that no RAM disk should be created if this variable is submitted. The RAM disk size configured into the boot image is used. What the heck? Why is it not auto-generating? Zero will not decompress initial RAM disk. The Linux kernel will do that if the initial RAM disk does not fit. Why do they... Oh wait, don't tell me it's different for RAM disk versus init.rd. Does not... I kind of need to write a bootloader. 12 competing bootloaders. And, does not fit on one media, usually floppy. You can split it into several pieces and separate the file name by a list. Wow, I was today years old in 2022 to realize Zilo has support to load the init.id from multiple magnetofloptical medias. Wow. First time I'm not even sure if Lilo had support for that. That is a crazy one. I don't even have a floppy in my Spark. I think, yeah, actually my Ultra 5 has a floppy, but it oopses in the Linux kernel, previous video. Provide a non-zero init size. Okay, so in this case you have to provide a non-zero init size. Also, I wonder, why do they have init.rd size and RAM disk? This is so bizarre. I really wonder what people clobbered together in. So I guess we can remove it. I also wonder why is the init.rd size and RAM disk? That is also stupid. Maybe somehow the parsing. Maybe there were implementation defined differences for when we had decades ago RAM disk versus initial init.rd initial RAM disk. The sum of the size of all images mentioned on that line in bytes, if this is required so that Zilo can reserve space for the image even though size of mask. Okay, I guess so. I have no idea why we added that. Maybe we copied that from somewhere. It sounds like we don't need it, and it, as far as I've seen, it booted on Spark. So remove superfluous and oops. Zilo or Spark Zilo RAM disk size, something of that sort. And yeah, regarding the video and this top secret thing, maybe it's basically, this is also why basically I said a couple of times I for 10 years did use Mac OS for my desktop, because we also do Mac software obviously, and the state of desktop with KDE, was it KDE 4 and KDE 5 and GNOME 4 and 5 or stuff, was anyway depressive. And in general, it always annoyed me that at Rock Linux I put so much energy into promoting Rock Linux, and sure, we had some success, but also I forked T2 because at Rock Linux were also some people doing too many breaking changes that eventually also said, look, after nearly 10 years, or 5 years, like 5 years of putting so much, like basically all my free time I ever had into making Rock Linux great and promoting it, and other people constantly breaking it with their random changes without even freaking testing it minimally, that like in 2004 say, you know what, I continue this now on my management here, my own full management at ST2. But basically it always annoyed me that some people, because they have friends and family and stuff, get so much media attention, and other people, no matter how hard they try, they are barely mentioned anywhere. Even at one point our Wikipedia article was deleted. But in the meantime, it's also, you know what, it works for me. I have my YouTube channel. You know what, just run your media stuff how you want. In the meantime, maybe it is fun to run it like a, you know what, it's a little unsuccessful few men YouTube, top secret YouTube Linux distributions, like I don't care, write about Facebook and Apple and Microsoft's Azure outages all day long. We call it top secret now. Anyway, if you have better ideas, leave in the comments below. So what else do we have here? Alright, this was, why is this deleted Spark packages, glib? What happened with that though? maybe why is this deleted? That is a little bit strange. What did I do here? I remember I backported something. Did this merge? Did this somehow? What happened here, Subversion? I remember I just backported that. How did that happen? Yeah, 20, so some of this must have happened probably. I hope this is a working version. I hope so, at least. Maybe some SVN switch. So, then more stuff while we epic thread rip through this test build. So the whole test build will take 2.5 hours. I'm not sure if I will live stream all of that today. Actually, I kind of someone asked when did I start this distribution. So this Rock Linux was started by Claire Wolf in, I think, like 1996. I think the Wikipedia article is slightly off. Actually, we could edit that live on. Did I just recently, when I updated that, also other people, the problem is I shouldn't write our own Wikipedia stuff all along myself. And this reinstated article were actually written by other people, which is super amazing. I'm so thankful. So, why is this? It is Linux Dev Center. Rock Linux Philosophy. Interesting, Riley Media. Because that is interesting. I think that is wrong. Where was that one changed to yeah, if you let your domain expire, then online advertising shit takes over. Why does she write here 1996? And I guess 1996 is more. I think this O'Reilly stuff here is wrong, because I remember I joined Rock Linux in like 1998 and it was already at version 1. So I guess 1996 makes more sense. But that is a problem. At Wikipedia you cite other stuff that is incorrect. Yeah. So that is a bit of a thing. So maybe we should change that reference to her homepage. Because yeah, actually I have super old emails dating back to like the time, because obviously I'm a Unix professional, right? Not like other people who have the emails in the cloud. Just not the very, very earliest, maybe not because I was freaking 16. And I sent few emails with a V90 modem anyway, analog modem times. But anyway, I probably should check with my emails some other time. But so, yeah, I joined I started to contribute to Rock Linux 1998-ish. And that was a freaking long time ago. And I majorly started to contribute like in probably 2000. First I ran a desktop flavor because the Rock Linux people somehow like desktop, YOLO, whatever. And I sent patches and they didn't care, like Linus Torvalds. And that is why I first ran a desktop Rock Linux, which eventually more people used my desktop Rock Linux than original Rock Linux. Then I joined this stuff and became Rock Linux stable release maintainer, and that was a freaking long time ago, like 2000, 2001. Probably that year, 2001 maybe, 2000. Whenever it was, I think it was like Saito, when was this Chaos Congress, like the 23rd or something? Or 19th, whatever. Not that it would matter too much. Probably not the most important too. One of those long time ago. Was it 19th? When, which year was it? Where is the date? Does it not have a date? Okay, does also not matter the most. Anyway, long time ago, and now let's make this an even better place. So as usual, what was with that one? So yeah, that actually built. Actually, we probably could check how many more built in the meantime. Maybe we, I mean, we could try. Are we probably still building, right? Tags, let's hope it switches without issue to 22.6. Oh, wait a second, we can check this even easier, probably, by simply setting this version to 22.6 and build Sparky. Nothing like warming your office, your 30-degree office, cooled only ventilated with an Octave fan with epic throttling through some Linux kernels. So, let's continue committing some stuff. I was double checking not to commit into the tag accidentally. So okay, maybe first Efi. What was it not enabled for? Why was that not enabled? Apparently it wasn't for some reason. What else did we not yet commit? Maybe we just use that. So this is all that I find in testing, right? How do I get to this? I mean, for years I didn't need that. This is just like, maybe previously it randomly enabled by default or stuff. And it's just like, yeah, the more you test what is. Wait, did I just press something or did this fail for some core dump? That didn't go too well. Maybe I pressed something else, which let's see if that is reproducible. But that's also the thing, right? You build with stack smashing protector stuff and then stuff randomly aborts. Or like, not randomly, but yeah. So I vastly refactored the SGI configs while working on that a little bit. What else do we have here? Actually, then we are mostly done. One thing I actually wanted to test, let's test this with use this build for something useful. What I also theoretically wanted to do is go through all the config options and see what we further can modularize. I think there was at least serial, some serial raw or stuff for the point, or raw serial or interesting. I thought there was some, where is serial? This is the sorting is also super chaotic sorting if you ask me. Serial, parallel is directly there. Serial is, I think, behind this character stuff. Also, there's parallel port printer because it's hilarious, the sorting. For one, there's also serial drivers. I saw also, you know what? We actually don't really want to build that into the kernel because I think most Sun don't. Why is that? Alright, probably a generic, yeah, probably maybe. Also, and this, do we have, is this here useful config or? Okay, that's actually not that bad. Actually, I had this here to set to module. Why is that not, or is it? Maybe because we include that. Okay, probably we need that then. Somewhere here, like first the default stuff to override this. I guess that, yeah, that overrides it. So that obviously. Good that we tested that. Hello. So building. Okay, so we probably strangely pressed or something with this other segmentation for the usual Unix terminal goodness. And so now we need to go in there. So the goal is, my general goal is, I want, except the microkernel, I want my monolithic kernel as little statically linked together, so we don't load all the optional stuff when we don't need it. Where's our character devices? Also, yeah, leave in the comments below how amazing do you find the sorted and find the stuff here, and how many options are enough. Maybe that is an older kernel. Where is the freaking... here, serial drivers. So somewhere here was raw, serial raw access. Actually, here's device tree based probe? I have no idea. Probably? So I thought I saw raw. Where is this raw? Strange. Maybe that was an old kernel option or another. I saw this for MIPS. Yeah, so going through here is pretty time consuming, as you can imagine. Oops. For very minimal savings. Probably not the best thing to do today. Do I have a to-do for that? Probably should do a to-do for that. Go through all Linux kernel. Something of that sort. Do I even build with, yeah, 32 threads? Yeah, back after another phone call. Spark TCX frame buffer. It's like someone fixed in 2008, I think, a compile warning and broke the whole driver. So much to fixing warnings to break stuff. Maybe also, yeah, maybe warnings also overrated, and especially like maybe only fix warnings if you can fully test it. But yeah. Certainly the people now with this epic thread-ripping CPUs, they mass build more stuff than they did 15 years ago. So, alright, we theoretically probably want to check that we properly disabled that. Oops, I know we have two, of course. 8250, we don't need to link in what we probably usually don't have, especially on these low memory machines here. Wait a second, did I? Didn't I thought I did. I wanted to delete that actually. Darn. So much to that. I'd have to test it again. So, breakage. What's going on here? Gnat. What was with Gnat? Yeah, something was there. I hope I didn't accidentally commit that. Darn, did I accidentally commit that? Do I not have... Oh darn, I don't have Gnat around here. Shit. That is not ideal. Okay, let's today try without Gnat. That also means shit. That also means, yeah, more testing. If you're wondering why do I make so many nodes and why do I increase the testing efforts, because what you don't test is broken, right? Do I have C++? People were wondering that check that stuff really works, like here, because ADA, Fortran, Objective C, what else did we had? Go, yeah. You don't test it, you forget about this. We made such an effort. Yeah, so that means, unfortunately, that is a little bit of a bummer that we released the stable release without ADA. Because I didn't have, yeah, I didn't have this in this change road. That is, yeah, darn. By the way, did I even, wait, did I change this now? You know, I wonder if I, yeah, I probably changed it. Yeah. So then we are mostly done with just catching up, getting my working copy fully committed. But yeah, that is the thing, right? Never change a running system, and if you do, like I didn't like ship Stack Protector for 15 years because it was always, well, it was for half the time too broken, only like the last 7 or so years Linux distribution, like other Linux distribution did some work of fixing more stuff, which like usually bugs or compiler deficiencies. And here, it's finally time to enable that, but I wonder also what is the performance impact. We probably should measure that to actually fully understand what is the performance like. And this Linux kernel disable stuff, welcome everyone, is of course once upon a time not that much stuff built, so we had to force disable quite some stuff, like did macros, whatever, random, and like maybe IO port stuff, and like, sure, we could have always patched the kconf, but this was just faster of like force disabling it, like as usual magnet. If you do that on a massive scale, like supporting 20 plus architectures, then it adds up. So instead of like wasting hours, you only spend some minutes. So like disallow listing those. Yeah, I wonder actually, wait a second, we should actually check that we don't build with debug symbols, because sometimes I debug stuff. Okay, that is off. Just because it feels a little bit slow, but probably it feels a little bit slower because we built here so much other Spark stuff, obviously, having the build time. So, alright, we can probably do one more thing. How long is the live stream already? Probably less than an hour, I guess, with 2 phone calls. Yeah, but with this attention to detail, you make a Linux distribution better every day. Updated Spark Linux conf. Something of that sort. What else do we have here? Alright, I didn't even... Alright, MIPS. Although MIPS is not fully tested, should I commit that? I wanted to mostly test the changes, and I think they are still too large. It is possible that this breaks something. I wonder how those get, or maybe from virtualization, maybe we... So previously this was disabled, although this is a module, this probably shouldn't hurt. Although the schedule timer stuff might break something. So as per usual, so why did I refactor this? Spark configs were vastly hard-coded, which, or like entirely hard-coded, which is something we usually don't do, because MIP64 was historically way too unstable on SG Octane. So I used Skylark's approved config there for at least somewhat stuff. For example, here, I wonder how that got enabled, this generic IRQ chip and IRQ domain, generic MS IRQ stuff. And so, how did this got enabled? I don't quite understand. Because chances are that, I mean, I could test boot that, but the problem is it easily takes me 1 hour, right? I need to take the SG Octane from the shelf, plug everything in, power it on, see that it boots. It may or may not boot depending on what I last messed with it. Also, pro tip, put your vintage stuff on the shelves in a bootable state, which I usually try to do, except if I run out of time. So much to pro tips. You run out of your own time for pro tips. And why is that a pro tip? Because if you do that like 6 months later, you forgot what you last messed with it, and then it takes like double, triple, or magnitude longer of time to reconfigure your precious vintage stuff to actually boot. And then booting that, so that also, like, depending on how I do, yeah, I need better net booting infrastructure. I have some net booting infrastructure here. I just need to, as usual, improve, rinse and repeat, and improve more. But then I would need to probably actually need to check if I... Yeah, best would be, I'm not even sure if I can set the SG Octane like that. So best would be, like, pro tip, put it away booting and still be able to net boot easily. That probably means cancelling the SGI args prom and manually boot ping. Is I just wonder, probably I would need to set up the network booting stuff using the same config names, because it argload unfortunately uses, or probably, I guess, yeah, I guess it's using the environment variables, so for network booting that, because the problem is if I don't network boot that, like, temporarily optional, and it doesn't boot, then I have a messed up SG Octane, which I need to spend even more time recovering, which is not the easiest multi-boot configuration. It's like, yeah, we can always improve that though, but like, also this still builds. So ideally, I mean, the config differs vastly with like gazillions of more modules enabled and some stuff built as module. I'm not worried about all the optional modules. I'm mostly, I mostly wonder, why is this, I mostly wonder where is this generic IQ stuff coming from when it previously was not there. And this... Or does it all come from high resolution timers? Maybe we probably want... Probably don't want that like that. So the new style here, and we still need some... So it's I totally hate it. In my microcontroller I would totally do totally different problems. I probably should freaking start with my microkernel, because otherwise we will never have one. Actually, config high-res is there, or is it... so this is supposed to be disabled. Maybe we need to include it later, I guess. Where do I include this? So we include all of this stuff. Actually, we already do it in that order, that I would think this should override this. So first the generic one, M4, and then IP30. Or does this include not fully work? Although I think I modified that already. I wanted to take a look at the log file of... I once noticed some strange include stuff. So what I wonder a little... Oh, is this... Oh no, this is probably... Because once I wondered that some include M4 include didn't work with an extra new line. Maybe that is the case here as well. Actually, we can actually debug that also if we wanted to do to build it. That also failed. Yeah, this is why we never change a running system, right? What is now going on here? So now Go breaks. It is no stack smash protector. Well, how does this break? I do not remember. Yeah, this is why this stuff should be more modular. Now you build all this stuff. And it doesn't work. That is not ideal, obviously, when stuff breaks. That is why we usually do stuff gradually. I only wonder why... I literally don't... So yeah, stuff is complex, right? But now people do even more programming languages. Not gonna debug that today. So what we can see here in this MIP64 debug stuff is... So one thing... Oh, that's also the wrong... What did I build here? Also, I built the wrong config. Yeah, so that is why I increasingly say the stuff gets too complex. I noticed already that ADA, which somehow we didn't hit GNAT, but the last time I had GNAT and built ADA, I already noticed that GCC 12 was not able to cross-compile their GNAT ADA support. So we have 600 drop frames again because Vodafone's fading DOCSIS. So what we first can check is this. Actually, I think this looks better. We don't have, I mean, we still have this IRQ domain stuff, which I wonder where it comes from. Why does this previously not enable? I think no, we don't have, with these changes, we don't have this other high resolution timer. So the benefit of that, so not only, it's like, yeah, except increasing build time, but at least we have all the optional, like the benefit of transitioning from this hard-coded, decade-old Skylark approved config to our generic T2 mechanisms is inheriting all those years of experience of best configuring the Linux kernel, including like namespaces, like on a relatively fancy machine like an SJ Octane, you could still use that, which previously was randomly disabled. Also, like disabling all the init-RD stuff that we usually don't use, even a little bit more. So quite some savings here. Maybe this did disable or enable with embedded, or so one of those actually could have like embedded or expert could have influenced this IRQ gen. So now the changes, except the massive modules and other nice to features, it significantly decreased. The biggest worry for me is this IRQ domain, a generic IRQ chip. This is a little bit strange, to be honest. What did we? And this is like cleaning up and improving the Linux kernel config. It's like 1 hour later, right? Attention to detail checking actually that the stuff works and does the right thing. Because as usual, what isn't tested is usually broken. Let's see where. Ah, darn. I think this was, among other things, this one. I mean, it is not always sure that it breaks something. It could actually, but it's like a 50-50 chance given how exotic all this stuff is. It could actually also improve something, you never know, but it could also, I mean, maybe it's not a 50-50 chance. Maybe with this exotic stuff, it's usually like more 80-20% chance of 80% of breaking something, but there could be a 20% chance of improving something, you never know. Although Spark, MIPS was relatively huge chip here though. So Nginx should select that. Why is that? Only Nginx, so IP. Oh wait, IP30. This is a little bit strange. So I guess you could. Was it like that or? Like, yeah, that is the configuration stuff. And why is this not... This does not look user settable. Why is it... It does not look like it should auto-select for that. That is a little bit for IP30. So the crazy thing is, this is always, I find this a little bit undebuggable. It's like, good luck. Selected by, I think. How to read this? We would need to read the freaking manual. Actually, I guess there is no manual. We probably need to read the freaking sources. Yes, I use Comic Sans font. Isn't it an amazing font? I hope you like it. Lots of people like it. So this probably should be the current configuration. So it would be really helpful if you would instantly see here which... So this should already not evaluate anymore, right? Because we have here that and that and that. Or would that... would equals module select that? Actually, it looks like maybe this GPIO might, because I guess that means, so this is yes right now. So all of those evaluate to false. These are all not set. So I guess we might better want to disable those PCH. Why is it even enabled for? Depends on your generic IRQ chip. I mean, maybe I should check what exactly this option does. If it even changes. But here is some, actually here is some generic IRQ. The question is, because this exotic stuff is usually pretty fragile, so I don't really want to waste my time, like hours of unpacking this stuff for nothing. So IP maybe we disable that here generically. Do we, like, maybe here for all MIPS platforms? Just to be on the safe side. Also, the Linux config stuff, the recurrent criticism, right? And attention to detail, it's really silly that it's the negative disabled works with commenting it out. That is upstream Linux kernel style, right? It's really silly. You have yes module and instead of no, this silly commenting out business, but yeah. What do I know? Recurring theme of so many things that could be improved. Yeah, previous video, probably sometime soon. SGO2, I have one. The problem is I auctioned myself a year ago a relatively nice SGO2. The only, relatively nice, only some plastic parts broken, at least the price wasn't the worst. But it has also, well, it's kind of nice and having the fastest CPU, 400 MHz R12K, which is even faster than I have in the SGO2. The only problem is that it never was stable in the Linux kernel. So yeah, you have a fast O2, but not stable with Linux, and probably maybe never will be. That is a little bit of a bummer for my T2 Linux stuff because of speculative execution is visible in the non-cache current cache clobbering, really crazy stuff. In my opinion, SGA, of all their amazingness, they should have never brought this like that to market, but yeah. Okay, we still have IRQ domain here though. Why would, but this generic IRQ is not set anymore maybe? I think this changed. Maybe we try manually set that too. And it's theoretically it still needs testing, right? Because not only we constantly see from others, but also from our own stuff what we don't test is broken. Okay, so GCC build now. I don't quite know. Yeah, we say we can't just release it, right? Why does it take some months? Not only awaiting some other updates, but as you see, we changed some config. We certainly would want to get GNAT building again and go. Probably I need to double check what if position independent executables or what was the other option? Stack smashing protector breaks it. Yeah. Too many architectures. No, this still enables, but I think generic, I don't see generic IRQ chip anymore. Yeah, I guess probably we need to properly debug how this IRQ domains. I have a gut feeling that will break something, and I don't have that much time for too much random breakage. I will probably also, I have some new project and server stuff to set up, so I will probably also use my own T2 trunk, usually there's a reason, because I need some new employment stuff, and deployment stuff. I need to deploy some new stuff, and so obviously I want to use the latest and greatest and improved security, so, oops, did I? Don't tell me I accidentally Control-V that, maybe I did. So IRQ domains. So how does that enable RegNap? Where is that coming from? Oh wait, so if you have I2C, then is that enabled? I guess that. Strange. Okay, maybe we leave it and hope that it works. I guess I commit that work here, even though it's not fully tested. Do I even have all IP32 stuff in there? Did I sound, frame buffer, network? This here I need to check. I've also not fully defined IP27, which I don't even remember. I think there was some breakage. I think our 4.8 kernel, I think it was not perfect on the IP27. Yeah, recurring theme, right? You try to keep some SGI stuff, and then each patch set breaks something else of stuff that never was upstream. I'm not even the most sure with that one, but yeah, I mean, we will see. It's for sure better than nothing. By the way, what did I just add to? Where did I add this IRQ? Oh darn, I should have. Now I lost overview of what exactly I added there. But yeah, both IP27 is origin 200 and IP30. Yeah, it's anyway silly that we need a specific, like I said, we don't have a generic multi-arch kernel for MIPS 64 for the SGI stuff. That, yeah, I mean, some stuff never was upstream, but also historically that people always YOLO'd everything together until it worked, and it's like, yeah, fuck, more compatibility, or it's like, yeah, performance, IAQ stuff, load address stuff, other bus stuff. It's like everything YOLO together until it just worked a bit. So mm. 27, 30, 32. There's basically one more thing we could do for, and yeah, it's not fully tested. It's like patch is welcome, and I will see later if it fully works or not. So I said, I think console something. I'm using, indeed this was correct that I used the Comic Sans. I already confirmed it, but yeah. So what's the build doing? The build is building. Let's see if only LT. Yeah, let's see how stable that is. While we do that, there is theoretically one more thing. There's always one more thing. Do not have QEMU in there. Let's use PowerPC machine Mac 99 for, was it like that, 1 gig, maybe too much, of and CD-ROM PowerPC minimal, I saw. What? Size parameter? What are you even talking about? CD-ROM. Or is it maybe like that? Yeah, like that. Is it power off or something? I noticed that some builds don't have working. By the way, do we need? I forgot. Do we need to set this, or does it automatically work? Some builds and configs don't have. All right, maybe we need to set this. Maybe that doesn't auto. As you see. By the way, we patched that bloody hello word. The Lex T2 release and T2 trunk doesn't have that. It's like, yeah, of course we need to change that, because why should this? I think for Spark it works, but no. I think like that should work. So I noticed some builds don't have working crypto stuff, and so the error output is so annoying. Why do they say unable to open initial console? Did I? Oh wait, what did I boot with? No, I don't see what I booted with. Did I write def or not? I hate when this stuff is inconsistent. Do we need def? I'm confused. Why is this not? Or is it another? Ah, this is so annoying. Okay, fine. The graphic it is. Or maybe it doesn't have console on. It's also hilarious that like you need serial console stuff for each freaking serial console. Do we not have that for Mac Zilog something? Yeah. Anyway, so the issue there is that I guess there might be some modules missing. I'm not, or other, whatever the issue here is. What was it? Looks smart. Ah darn, I booted without, I need to boot. Nothing like booting 5 times. But yes, theoretically this is on my test list, meaning booting all those ISOs. The only problem is test time, right? That's why you want to do it concurrently. Where's my cursor? Focus. Ah. And without testing this manually, I looked into that already briefly, but also LVM build with all the mitigations. And there's probably some kernel module missing. Just test, obviously. Yeah, scripting all of this is a pain. Still need to work on, like, if it's super annoying to get started, then obviously always a bit of a hindrance. Crypt setup. Let's open SDA4 to root stuff. Test. So I think this error's out, at least as far as I remember the last time it, yeah. I googled that. And the result wasn't the most helpful. I have no idea what. So I can only guess that the module for that is missing. And so this is another example of really shitty kernel messages. I googled that and didn't really find something helpful. Actually, we could do that in an install. Like, yeah, how much? And imagine having that everything built into the kernel. This is why I prefer fully modular kernel. I only wonder, does it not work for others? Other architectures? Oh, I will notify. Is it dump? Is it Luke's dump? Dump format? Wait a second, do we have... Is that in my search history even? Is that because I can't... This is also why I wanted a serial console, right? To better crypto. So yeah, I googled that. Is this SHA-512? Does it mod probe? Did that load? We have SHA-512 generic. It shouldn't be that though. It's not SHA-512, so maybe it's some other format, maybe even another format would work. Is it Luke's one or nah? Encrypted keys. Yeah, and the kernel should print more. Like, even I don't know which freaking module is missing now. The kernel really should just freaking properly. So yeah, plenty. I mean, if you already have millions of, no, millions, 1,180 Google hits, Luke's dump. Of course, it's Luke's dump. It's Luke's format. It's Luke's dump. So what does this stuff do? I mean, do I even? Probably not. I probably. Yeah, we can't even scroll back, right? Recurring theme, not accelerated scroll back stuff in Linux kernel because it's too difficult. So ISXTS. Argon 2i SHA-256. Argon 2i. And you know, you need to randomly debug that. That is could be so much better, but so was it even Argon? ESXTS. What did we load so far? Oh, yes, generic. Yeah, so that is super frustrating. That should of course work. The problem is my installation is older, so yeah, that is super annoying. I probably continue this off live stream because it's otherwise too boring. So otherwise, yeah, as usual, the more you change, the more breaks, because upstream, obviously. Don't even have the latest OpenSSL because it also breaks stuff. So that's probably for this video more than long than enough. I hope you learned something and enjoy this. If you have any other tips and tricks or crypto or PR and press, and last but not least, I spent hours like posting to, like not only writing all this website press release, sending it to the handful of news sites. So now something fails. Well, there is a new Rust version. Was it 6.2.2? But yeah, you spend so much time, and at the end, if that is on others people control, you can only try so hard, and at the end of the day, you don't have direct influence, right? If those news sites don't want to publish it, they don't publish it, and that is really set after all the hard work. So yeah, leave in the comments below what you think about code names and marketing measures. And maybe after Top Secret comes not newsworthy, but where is even the freaking? Alright, I probably get the stuff. When you need to use your own package listing to find the freaking download easily. This also downloaded some random garbage. Thank you very much. .160, 1.2 allegedly. So I don't expect that to fix that. So here maybe I simply have too old Rust CC, but you never, yeah. Ever changing Rust stuff. Previous video. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Don't forget to hydrate and share, like, and subscribe, and hope to see you soon for all those fixes and security